Word for you guys. Perfect. Who's excited? I'm so freaking excited. It's a new month. It's not even funny. Like I'm racking my brain because as you guys know, and some of you guys were doing the same exact thing, going for a big bonus last month, right? How many of you guys at the end of last month felt this panic, felt this rush, felt this feeling of overwhelmingness that was like, holy crap, am I really going to even make this happen? Right? Some of you guys pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. I think only one of us really got like exactly where we wanted to go. A lot of us got further than we were the month before, right? Which is really, really good. But a lot of us did not make the exact goal. So I really want to get crystal freaking clear on the vision for our team tonight. And I think this is really, really important for us to do together and to show you guys kind of what it looks like when you are building a business and have a crystal clear vision in front of you and how it can help you in a long run. So if you have been in for a while, this is for you. If you have been in for a very short period of time, this is for you. And if you're brand freaking new, this is for you. Okay. So first things first, I kind of want to go through and just make sure I give you guys the announcements that's going on for this month. So last month, you guys know we had some Zoom calls that were happening. We're making a couple of changes this month, but I'm super excited for it in general. So first things first, write this down. Mindset Zoom calls. They are on the 6th, and correct me if I'm wrong, Christina and Sam, the 20th, correct? Okay, the 6th and the 20th of this month. And those are going to be at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So that's what those are going to be. Okay. Set your timers and your alarms on your phone. We run a business, guys. If you are running a business, I want you to raise your hand. Okay. This ain't no hobby. Nobody here wants to pay in. They want to get paid, right? So if we want to get paid, we got to learn how to show up together. And it's going to be hard. And sometimes you're going to think, well, maybe they're not going to notice. I promise you, boo, we're going to notice. We're going to notice every single time. Okay. So understand that we're doing this together. I'm showing up for you. You're showing up for me. We're all showing up for each other. Right. So it is so important that the teamwork makes the dream work. We all show up for it together every single week. Wednesday night calls, they're going to continue. They've been going on for like the last 3.5, almost 4 years now. We're going to keep going with those every single Wednesday of this month. We're going to do a Zoom call every single Wednesday night. We've got some awesome things that are coming your guys' way. A lot of awesome topics that are something that I wish that I would have heard when I first got started. And I wish that someone would have taken the time to invest into me and to talk to me. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to share these things with you that I wish that people would have taught me when I first got started. So it's going to help you jumpstart your business a little bit quicker. Okay. And then the last one I wanted to go over for I almost said for power hours. That's exactly what it is. Power hours every single day, Monday through Friday. We are going to continue with those because I know a lot of you are loving them, especially you guys who are able to get on them. If you're working full time, it's not your fault that you can't get on them. I want you to stop kicking yourself in the butt and telling yourself, oh my gosh, you can't get on them. Okay. You're working a full-time job on top of this. That's boss. Okay. You are literally hustling in the nooks and crannies of your day. And when I first started, I could not get on every single Zoom. It was impossible because I was working 2 friggin' jobs. So I had to choose whenever I was out of work, I had to look around for Zoom calls that were available for me at that time. If there was none, I would do my own power hour because I am my own boss, right? So it's so important that we stop beating ourselves up, especially in the chat. Let's make it a habit this month of not beating ourselves up in the chat. Let's make it a habit of shouting ourselves out in the chat this month. Let's make it a habit of shouting other people out this month, right? The more that we do that, the better it's going to be and the better our team is going to be, the more positive we're going to bring instead of the negative. We're going to stop bringing other people down. We're going to stop trying to recruit people onto our struggle bus. We're going to start telling ourselves we're going to make it happen. We're going to show up every single day and we're going to push through it no matter how hard life gets, because life is happening to all of us. I promise you that. I've heard story after story after story after story after story. I can't even tell you how much crap went down last month. Okay. In all of your lives. Just know, look at the person that's literally their pictures right beside you. That person went through hell and back last month. Okay. Now we're going to end it. We're going to draw a line. We're going to say, this is done. We're done sitting here waiting for things to happen. We are done waiting for life to just miraculously stop going crazy. We are done waiting around for these promotions to happen for us. And we are done trying to bring people into our misery that's going on in our life. We are going to push forward. We're going to look positive. We are going to push out of this fixed mindset where we believe that the world is ending, because it's not. Okay. Your outside world is a reflection of what's going on in here. So how do you get your outside world to become so good? You have to change what you're telling yourself in here. And that's what I want to encourage you guys tonight. Okay. I want to show you how to switch that around. I want to show you how to fix it. I want to show you how to become the best version of yourself. So then you can go ahead and you can spread it to other people, and you could spread it through your business, and you can make the most income that you were meant to make in the first place. Okay. So those are the 3 Zoom calls that were going on. As far as the other announcements, I have, last month, the 4-in-1 cycles, or this is the last month for your 4-in-1 cycles, unless you started after January. So if you started after January, then you have 90 days from the first day that you started, and then your cycle starts over again. So some of you guys are coming to that last 90 days. Some of you just began your first 90 days. Some of you are in your 60 days. And so you want to get with your upline. You want to figure out exactly where you are with this promotion. You got to figure out the day that you started. Remember back to that. Count 30 days from that first day. That's your first month for your cycles. Take your second month. So the day after your 30 days, so 31 days technically, right? 30 days from that date is your second cycle period. Take 30 days after that, go 30 days. That's your third cycle period. Okay. After that 90-day period, everything you've done throughout that period, either you nail the bonus, you don't nail the bonus, whatever, it doesn't matter, whatever happens. Okay. Or whatever has happened, you're going to restart the next 90 days. And like I said, if you want clarification on that, make sure you go with your upline so they can teach you how to do it. Okay. A lot of you guys started way before January, but I know there's a few faces in here who just started or started a couple months ago. So I want to make sure that you're very crystal clear on what is happening this month. I want you to know your vision. I want you to know where you're going, and I want to see you push forward and push through it. Okay. Those are the Zoom calls. That is the cycle. So I'm going to get right into what I want to talk to you guys about this Zoom call. Okay. We're going to talk a lot about, continuing to go through distractions, through temptation, and how to have a really crystal clear vision. And I want to start it off by sharing with you guys something that I learned along the way of this business. Okay. I've been in this business for almost 5 years now. I have watched people come and go, come and go, come and go. I've seen people put their business on the back burner. I've seen people come in and half-ass it halfway through, right? I've watched people walk in and start and get going and explode their business and then walk away from it. Right. And I want to share with you 3 reasons, because you might be sharing this with someone else along the way eventually. 3 reasons why people quit in this business. Okay. Number 1, lack of consistency. Okay. Lack of consistency. When you don't show up every single day, what happens is fear trickles in. The enemy gets inside of our head, because we don't see any results. And once we stop seeing results, then we start realizing, oh my gosh, maybe this isn't for me, right? We start telling ourselves these lies in our head. Whereas if we were to just continue to be consistent, we would have never heard those lies in the first place, because the excitement would have still been there. It is so important to be honest with yourself when it comes down to this. Number 2, lack of massive action. Okay. Now, when I first started my business, I was drifting through this business. Okay. I was not being intentional. I was not showing up the times that I told myself I was going to show up. I was not going to my upline for help. I was not telling myself that I needed to get up and work. I was not telling myself how much work I was actually putting in. I would tell myself, oh yeah, I sent a crap ton of messages today. But really, when you look back at those messages, I only sent about 40 that day. Is that massive action? No, it's not. Is that going to get me to diamond? No, it's not. So I had to make the decision for myself to not only stay consistent, but to take massive action every single day. And massive action looks a little bit crazy. Okay. That's like, for lack of better words, I see Christina laughing. For lack of a better words, that's exactly what it is. Okay. It's supposed to be wild. You're supposed to feel all over the place. We are business owners, guys. People didn't get to the top of the food chain just by drifting around. You have to put in the massive action. You have to do it consistently every single day. And it is so important to understand that. So when you are lacking massive action, but you are staying consistent, there's a good reason why you're not promoting right now. It's because you're lacking that massive action. You're not going all in. You're dipping your toes in the water and you're playing the hokey pokey. Success is not the hokey pokey, said by Ashley Mayfield. Okay. I've heard that so many times. I can't even express it. When it comes down to it, you have to show up every single day and you have to give it your all. And it's going to feel crazy. You're going to feel wild. You're going to feel stressed out. Some days you're going to be like, holy crap, I don't know if I can do this. I promise you can. And every single one of us has it in us, but we have to prioritize. We have to figure out what is the most important. And that's why I'm doing this Zoom call tonight. So number 3 is the lack of vision. Okay. How many of you guys have gotten halfway through the month and forgot why you were even doing it? And you kind of went backwards and you were like, holy crap. Oh my gosh. Like, what am I even supposed to do right now? Maybe you don't even know how to show up or what to show up or what your next move is. Or maybe you're looking at your map and you're like, it's all over the place. I know damn well I had a bunch of you guys message me last month saying things like, okay, I need to figure this out. Does this loyal customer count here? Does this loyal customer count here? And I'm going to be honest with you guys and real upfront. If you're writing them down, you shouldn't have to ask those questions. If you're taking the time to be intentional, you shouldn't have to ask those questions. You should have it written down right in front of you. If your plan and your vision is not crystal clear, that's why you felt out of the loop last month. That's why you felt like you didn't know what you were doing halfway through the month. And that's why I got on here tonight first thing and I said, it's time for us to get it together. It's time for us to wake up and say, okay, I am the business owner. It's not my upline. And it's not her job to take care of it. It's not my sidelines job to take care of my promotions. And it's not my downlines job to take care of my promotions. It is mine. I am in control of my own happiness. I am in control of my own success 100%. And we have to take responsibility for that. So these are the 3 reasons why people quit. And it's crazy because I feel like every single one of us have been through those moments where we've thought to ourselves, is this even worth it? Raise your hand if you have ever thought, is this even worth it? I will be the first to raise my hand. Honestly, I have been there 100%. And do you know what? It was because one of these things was happening in my business and I was unaware and I did not know that these were the reasons why I felt so out of control. These are the reasons why I felt like my business was going nowhere. So if you just know this, right? You know, when you know more, you do more. If you just know this, right? It could change everything for you in the future when doubt and fear and the enemy creeps inside of your head and tries to tell you that you're not good enough and that you can't do it and it's not worth it. Just knowing this alone, now you know it's time to pick up the pace. It's time to get consistency back. It's time to get real crystal clear on where we're going. And when you do those 3 things and you stay consistent with it, it's going to explode for you. And you're going to get that excitement back and you're going to build the momentum back and it's going to fire your team up and it's going to fire your sideline up and your upline and everybody around you is going to get excited, even your family and your friends and everybody that's surrounding you every single day, because that's going to radiate off of you. Okay. So it's super important to know that. So I've got some notes here and I'm just I'm going to read down them and kind of explain exactly what my thought behind them was. Okay. Think about vision like you're going on a trip, okay? And I've said this to a few of you guys when you first got started. Think about your business and think about your life like you're going on a trip. And you come to me and you say, and maybe you went to your upline, maybe it's not me, right? But maybe you went to your upline and you said, okay, Chelsea, I want to take a trip. And I say, okay, Christina, where do you want to go? And you say, well, I really don't know where I want to go, right? How are we supposed to get from point A to point B if you don't even know where you're going? How are we supposed to stay consistent every single day and take massive action every single day? That's like getting in the vehicle, putting a full tank of gas in your car, hitting the gas, going in circles, burning out, letting your car break down, and then being like, well, shoot, I didn't really make it anywhere, did I? So many of us are doing this not only in our business, but in our life. And this is why I wanted to come on here and I wanted to share this tonight. We have to set the goals. It should be everyone's goal this month to make it to Ruby. Do you want to know why? Because those success bonuses are set up for Ruby. So if you are getting your success bonus, meaning 3 cycles, I'm not going to go into logistics about it because we have other videos about it. If you are going for your 3 cycles, it will naturally bring you to Ruby. Did you guys know that? So if you want to move forward in your business and you want to move forward in your life and you want your income to grow, Ruby should be your first step. And when you complete those first 3 cycles, you will be the closest that you've ever been to it, if not even further, if not even more. So that is the most important part, is starting out with the Ruby chart in front of you, knowing that when you complete those cycles, that's where it's at. And when it's not going to get you there. Okay. So like, for example, okay. And I wrote this down and it just kind of was like jumbled in my head. Okay. Going Ruby is not going to get you where you want to be 100%. We all know that, right? But you should always have your now goals, your soon goals, and your future goals. And Ruby is your stepping stone to your now goals. So if you are wanting to pay all your bills on time, or you're wanting to go diamond, right? You can't go diamond until you hit Ruby. It's impossible. You can't go diamond until you hit your success bonus. It's impossible, right? So you may have these bigger goals. You may have these things that are going through your head. You might have this whirlwind of just this and that and this and that going through your head, just thinking, well, what's the first step, right? And I'm going to share this with you, that the first step is your success bonus. No matter what, it is going to be your success bonus. And that is why it was created, because the more that everybody on this team is doing the success bonus, the more you're going to go up. First, it's going to be Ruby. Then you do another success bonus. Boom, you go Emerald. You do another success bonus. Boom, you go Diamond. And it goes on and on and on and on from there. Right. And you have to think about your goal. Like, just like I said, with that trip that I was talking about, in order to go on that trip, you have to actually type your destination into your GPS, right? Or you have to actually find a map that shows you from point A to point B. You cannot get from point A to point B. You can't say I want to get a success bonus, but never write it down. You can't say I want to earn a $500 raise, but never actually get your Ruby chart out. It will never happen for you until you start writing it down, until you start getting serious about it, until you have it in front of your face every single day. And when you don't have it in front of your face every day, think about it like this. You're taking a trip. Christina comes to me today and she says, I want to take a trip from here to Florida. She pulls out her map, or she pulls out her GPS, and then she unplugs it and it dies. She's not going to be able to make it there because she doesn't know where she's going, right? Same with the roadmap. She has a roadmap. She takes it out for the first part of the trip and then she puts it away and we never see it again the rest of the trip. How is she supposed to get there if she doesn't know how to get there, or where she's going, or she's not tracking where she is on the map? This is why we have our papers out in front of us. This is why we have our map out in front of us of Ruby, our success bonus, things like that. After you get your GPS, you actually have to fill the tank. And what I mean by that is fill your tank with personal development, outgrowing the old version of yourself, learning how to become a business owner, learning how to move to that next step. The only way to do that is to invest into your mindset every single day. Allow other people to pour into you. Go to your upline, talk with your upline, work with your upline. Go look at YouTube videos about old trainings or other trainings that have happened about this business. Follow them. Success leaves clues. And so that's what we're talking about when we say you have to actually go fill up your tank. You have to become knowledgeable about what you're doing along the way. You have to invest in yourself. Guys, when I first started this business, I had nobody teaching me. I literally had my upline quit within the first like 2 months of getting started. And I had to figure it out all by myself. Do you know how I figured it out all by myself? Every single day I started treating my business like a business. It was never a hobby to me. There was no plan B for me. I had to make this happen. There was no other option. I could not go back to working 80 hours a week and missing out on my family. I was going to lose everything if I did. So there was no other option. I started showing up. I started looking up YouTube videos about this business. I started investing my time into watching other trainings of people who were talking about how they made it from the bottom to the top. I started listening to how people were wording things when they talked to customers. I started listening to people pour into me about personal development, loving myself, and actually taking care of things that I need to take care of first, giving my time to those who deserve it, allowing other people to impact me that are supposed to impact me, and people who are negative to not impact me, right? Or not affect me. I started filling that tank up. And after that, as I was filling that tank up along the way, along the journey, right? Every single day I was pouring into myself. I was allowing myself to get all of the education that I needed in order to work this business effectively and become a leader effectively. I had to put my pedal to the metal, right? I had to push. And it was scary. I was scared half the time. Had panic attack after panic attack after panic attack, because guys, like I said, there was no plan B. I treated this business like someone was about to take my child away from me for the rest of my life, and I was never going to get her back. I literally made this scenario up in my head so that I could work my business. I told myself, if you don't get it done, Chelsea, everything's done. It's over, right? I forced myself to work this because I was in fear that everything was going to go away. And so I started hustling and I started making it happen, and I started growing as I went. I started learning how to become the best version of myself. And then I started inspiring other people and helping other people along the way. And the more I started inspiring people and helping people, and the more I continued to think about it like that, and think about it as like a do or die. You have to make this happen, Chelsea. There's no other option. There is no plan B. That's when life started shifting. My business started shifting. Everything started growing. I started growing up. I started learning things. These are things that most people will never learn in their entire life. But I had to do it. So I got my map out, had it out in front of me every single day. I filled my tank every single day. I started growing. I started learning. I started surrounding myself with people who were doing it, and they were making it happen every single day. And I started pushing people away that were not doing the things and were staying stuck in their own life, in their own mindset, in their own pity, in their own sorrow. I started pushing those people away, and I started involving myself with people who were hustling. And then I too started hustling. I too started running in my business. I too started doing all the things every single day, as much as I possibly could, to make sure that I made things happen for myself so that I could get to that destination. Because you can't get from here to Florida, right? I'm in Maine, guys, if you guys didn't know. You can't get from Maine to Florida if you press the gas and then you press the brake. And then you press the gas and then you press the brake and you hold it. You won't get there. You have to choose to go full throttle. You have to choose to put the pedal to the metal, and you have to go all in on your business. So if you're facing this big success bonus and you are scared crapless, just like the rest of us have been at some point in our business, I promise you that it will never happen until you choose to do these things, until you choose to believe in yourself. And you can do it. I'm no different than anybody that's in this chat. I started right from the bottom. I come from a hard past, just like most of us. Went through a crazy, crazy time in my life, dealt with a lot of crazy loss. My life is chaos almost 24/7. I have been sick like crazy all weekend long, and I'm still showing up. The only difference is that the people who are successful are choosing to show up when hard things happen, Whereas the people who are not successful are choosing to sit back and say, why me? Why me? Why me? We're all over here saying, why not me? Why can't I? I can, again and again and again and again. So we have to switch this thinking, and these Zoom calls that are coming up this week are going to help us do that. So I'm super excited about that. So no one can do it for you. No one can hit these bonuses for you. No one will hand it to you. Your upline cannot do it for you. We cannot hand you the customers and the distributors. We cannot create this success. We cannot build your business for you. You have to do it for you. No one can hand it to you. And this is why it's so important to show up every single day. And when it comes down to it, oh my gosh, this was like a huge wake up call for me when I was sitting here thinking about it earlier. When I was going for my promotions, okay, if there was people who were showing up at my house, or people that were coming into my life or coming into my head that were not contributing to this promotion that was going to feed my family and make it so I could be home full time, I was not going to let them sit in my life and waste my time. So think about that. Look at the people that are surrounding you every single day. I want you guys to be real honest with yourself. Who is in your life that is holding you back? Who is in your life that is sitting there telling you that you can't, or questioning you, or maybe telling you that you need to go off and do this or do that when you're trying to focus on this business so that you can bring yourself to the next level? Who is in your life pushing you away from your goals when you should be focusing more on your goals? This is what I had to realize about myself when I first started this business, because I had a lot of people who had their hands in the pot that didn't belong with their hands in the pot at all. I had to choose between satisfying other people and helping other people, and helping myself and helping my family. Okay. So it's so important to do this. So, I want to show you guys, and I want to share this with you guys really, really quick. This is 5 steps to mapping this out this month. So I want you guys to get out your pieces of paper. I'm going to pause it really, really quick while you guys do that. And I'm going to go right down the list with 5 steps rapid fire. Okay, so if you have yours out, I want you to hold it up in the air. Perfect. Okay, so I see most of us. We're up and going, okay? Okay, so I'm going to go right down the list of things. These are five ways that I map my promotions out every single month, okay? And then I've got a couple of tips right afterwards that I want to share with you guys, okay? That will help you excel in your business. So number 1, you have to set your goal. Why are you doing this? What are the emotions around it? So I always use myself for an example. I think about my reason why I'm doing this in the first place right now. Actually, let's go back to when I first started my business. How about that? We'll go back. I was working 80 hours a week. I was struggling to pay my mortgage. We were 3 payments behind on every single bill that we had. Matt and I really sucked at managing money back then. We had a really hard time paying for everything. We were fighting nonstop over money. We were about to lose our relationship. Matt was fighting me for custody of my daughter, and it was all because of money. So I had to make the decision for myself that I was going to show up in my business because of it. And I was going to pay our bills so that we could stop fighting about money, and so that I could come home full time. So my biggest why was to pay my bills on time. So I took down a piece of paper and I wrote down every single bill that I had, the total amounts of every single one of them. And then I started looking at them in ways of, how is this going to happen? And this will be the next thing. Okay. And I'll share it with you guys on how it compares to it. But I really started getting in depth of what I really needed, how much money I really needed, and why I really needed it. What were the emotions that were revolved around it? Well, if I lose my child, that's like the end of my life, right? How many of you guys are all moms, right? How many of you guys feel like if you lost your child, it would be the end, right? You would feel hopeless, worthless, defeated, nervous, scared, afraid, worried. Okay. These were the things that kept me going. These feelings that I made sure I wrote down on a piece of paper on how it would feel to lose her. That's what I did. And that's how I made it happen for myself. That was my number one step. I wrote down all of it. Then I switched it around and I wrote down all the feelings that I would get when I made sure that I paid all of my bills on time. What would be all the feelings around your reason why in general? Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you amazed? Are you, jumping for joy? Does it make you cry? Do you spread happy tears like me and Sam do all the time? Like what does it make you feel? Because it all boils down to that feeling. If there's no feeling in your why, it is not a good why. If it doesn't make you cry, it's not going to push you to work for it. We are our own business owners. You have to learn how to work with your emotions because we are emotional creatures. So number one, find out your why. And this is another great way. Okay. Let's actually do this. April Jennings did this for us one time on a Zoom call. And I want to do this with you guys because I think it would be really, really good. Okay. I want all of us to close our eyes. Every single one of us to close our eyes. Okay. And once you close your eyes, then I'll go ahead and do it. Okay. Think about your best life. Who are you with that day? Think about the best day that you could ever possibly have. Who are you with? What are you doing? What do you look like? What are you wearing? What are you focusing on? What is a major focus on this day? What are the qualities that you have? Who are you? When people look at you, what do they think? What's the first thing that comes to their mind? How much money do you make? What do you get to do now because you are this person? All right, let's go ahead and open our eyes. That's your best day. Do you guys see how powerful that is when you close your eyes and you really imagine your life being that person? I do this all the time. And I started doing it because April got on a Zoom and she was talking about it. So maybe you've been thinking about this why that's in your head, but this why isn't what you just saw. Time to fix your why. You have to start writing this down every single day. And even if it takes you 10 minutes to sit there and close your eyes and write it down. You could even make a recording of you asking yourself those questions. Close your eyes and listen to yourself speak. And then after you're done, write down everything that you saw. Do that every single day for 5 to 10 minutes. It's going to create this vision in your head of where you're going. And our brains don't know anything different. Whatever you imagine will come to life. So you have to start with imagining it. You have to have a visual of it. You have to get that vision in your head. And it can't just be tonight on this Zoom. It can't just be a week from now. It can't just be a month from now when it's all over and you didn't get your bonus. It has to be every single day until you nail it. You have to show up and make sure that you are creating that vision for yourself. So that is one of the biggest ways that I created that vision for myself. And that's where this addition on my house came from. I sat there and I closed my eyes and I thought about everything that I wanted in it. I thought about everything that it was. I thought about seeing my son in his bedroom. I thought about seeing my daughter in her bedroom. I thought about seeing us in a big family room. I thought about having a huge dining room table with an area rug on bottom, our fish tank, just amazing. I thought of all of this. I imagined my entire life as it is right now, just by sitting here every single day with my eyes closed and thinking about it. And then I wrote it down, and here we are, building an addition on our house, have a huge dining room table that's coming in. My kids are almost in their bedroom. Literally, June is going to put them in their bedrooms, and I'm so freaking excited about it. There is no way that I would have ever made this happen if I didn't have a vision that it was actually happening first. I could have never made this happen if I did not see it before I did it. It is no longer, I'll believe it when I see it. It is, I will see it, I will do it, and I will make it happen. So, number one, set your why up. Make sure that you know why you're here. Set your now, soon, and later. What are you going for this month? What are you going for in the next 6 months? What are you going for in the next year? What is your life going to look like at all three of those stages? Who are you going to be at all three of those stages? This is going to allow you to put the work in, because now you see where you're going. You have a crystal clear map. You have a crystal clear vision. You must know down to the details of why you're doing this. You have to know the dollar amount. You have to know why it's happening, the feelings around it. Number two, and this is where the how comes in. How are you going to make this money to make this happen? How are you going to become that version of yourself? How you do this is you think about what you really want, and then you break it down into the 5 ways that we get paid. So for example, 5 ways just off the top of my head of how we get paid. Sample packs. You can get paid these daily, $25 a pop. Weekly bonuses. These range from $150 to $500 every single month or every single week. You're eligible for this. You can work for it. Number 3, commissions. Commissions goes up the higher you go up in rank. Number 4, leadership bonuses, or cab bonuses, as we used to call it. You earn these when you go diamond and every single person that you help get started and thrive in their business. And number 5 is our incentives. This is like our Punta Cana trip that's coming up. This is our $2,500 success bonus. This is our $10,000 diamond bonus. So these are all the different ways that you can get paid. Now that you know why you're doing it and what you need and how much you need, now you have to figure out how that's going to come apart. So think about it like this, and I'm going to give you guys a really good example of it, okay? Let's just say I need to pay my mortgage and my light bill every single month. And this is just an example. I need to pay my light bill and my mortgage every single month. It's $1,000, hypothetically. Now that $1,000 can be broken down into multiple different ways in our compensation plan. The first way that it can be broken down is I could say, oh, well, I could earn this in sample packs, right? 1,000 divided by 25. How many sample packs do I need to sell in order to make that happen, right? This could be broken down into our monthly or our weekly bonuses. Number 2, they're from $150 to $500 every single week. You're eligible to doing it, right? So if maybe I want to get 2 full cycles done, and those two cycles that I'm getting done are going to equal out to $500 each. Boom, boom, done. Maybe I want to earn commissions. So maybe I'm going to go Ruby, and then I'm going to get a bonus on top of that. $500 and a $500. Do you see how that goes? Maybe I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to earn a bonus, like a success bonus, and I'm going to go right down the line and go 3 cycles, that's 3 $500 bonuses. My Ruby on top of that, which is another 500. And then on top of that, the $2,500 bonus, right? You have to know where your money is going, and you have to know how exactly you want to make that happen. So we're no longer drifting. You know exactly where you can make it happen. You know the areas that you can target in your compensation plan that will give you that money. And I break this down. So for example, if I'm saying I want to get 2 fast start bonuses, 2 of the $500 bonuses, I know that 2 $500 bonuses, I need 8 loyal customers and 2 distributors for the 4-in-1, because I have to get a 4-in-1 and then teach someone 4-in-1. And that's 8 in total, 8 loyal customers, 2 distributors in total, right? And I have to do that twice. So that's 16 loyal customers and 4 distributors will get me that 1,000. Do you see how that's broken down? And then once I write out that 16 loyal customers and 4 distributors, now all it takes is showing up for it every single day. I break it down for myself. So number 3 was actually breaking it down, just so you guys know. How many loyal customers and distributors is that going to make for you to actually earn however you're going to earn this money? Number 4, I break down a daily to-do list that will get me there. Income producing activities. And what I mean by this is getting your ads on, adding and growing your network and growing your network. How are you supposed to message people if you can't add people or if you don't have anybody to talk to, right? You have to learn how to grow your network, and you have to do it daily. Massive action plus consistency equals momentum. So if you want big waves in your business and you want momentum to be built, you have to choose to show up in massive ways consistently. So adding people, adding a lot of people. Messaging is an income producing activity. Reaching out to people, talking to people every single day. That's another thing that you have to take massive action with. Having a checklist done. How many people do I need to message every single day to make this happen? How many messaging sprees am I going to do? How many people am I going to ask to post for me? How many people am I going to ask if they have anybody that they could refer to me, right? How many people am I going to ask, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Okay. And then follow-ups. Follow-ups are a huge IPA because the fortune is always in the follow-up. If I'm not following up with people, I'm not signing people almost 100% of the time. You have to follow up with people. Think about every single one of us that's on this Zoom call right now. Okay. Think about how many times your enroller talked to you before you actually got started. This could be a conversation. This could be your enroller asking you to post for her. This could be your enroller talking to you about the product. This could be your enroller asking if you want a sample pack. This could be your enroller just having a conversation with you, pouring belief into you. This could be your enroller getting on the phone with you. This could be your enroller literally following up with you, telling you she has one more spot left. Okay. That's what a follow-up looks like. So think about all the times that you had her follow up with you or that person followed up with you. Now it's your turn to do the same exact thing. The fortune's going to be in the follow-up. Always remember that. But you can't follow up with massive amounts of people if you're not willing to add massive amounts of people. If you're not willing to message massive amounts of people. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's all about taking massive action every single day consistently until you hit your goal. If you're not getting the results that you want within the first couple of weeks, switch it up. You got to do more. You have to push harder. You got to dig your heels in a little bit deeper. You got to understand that there's somewhere in your business that you're not doing the right thing. Go ask your upline, what am I doing? Look at yourself, look at your schedule, look at what you're doing every single day, adjust accordingly in order for you to hit that bonus. Find somebody that's on your sideline that's willing to hold you accountable, that's willing to look at you in the face and say, hey, time to wake up, right? Time to get up and go. We all have that one person in our life that could say that. And we 100% listen to them because we're like, I know you get me, right? I know you can tell me that. So it's so important to write it down daily. And then number 5, which is the hardest thing for us, and I'm going to get a little bit into this and then we're going to end this. Okay. No plan B. That's like fire when I say that. Okay, guys, there cannot be a plan B. Look at Heather. Oh my gosh, you're awesome. No plan B. Okay. There can't be any thought of backing out, because things are going to come up in your head. The enemy is going to try to get into your head. You're going to have people around you trying to talk you out of it. When Matt and I started telling people that we were going to bring him home full time, do you know how many people looked at me and was like, you're going to bring him home full time? Are you serious? You know how many people told me that it was a bad idea? His own boss at the shop told him that he should not leave because businesses can fail. Okay? His own boss, the owner of the company. People are going to talk you out of it because you're jumping outside of their comfort zone. Anything they say to you has nothing to do with you. And what they think of you or what they say about you behind your back or when you're not around is none of your business. And it wasn't your business in the first place. That's their own mindset. Everything they're saying out loud externally is a reflection of what is internal with them. So the things they're saying are not about you. It's their own thoughts about themselves that's inside their head. We have to understand this. People are always going to try to talk you out of it. There can't be a plan B. People are going to try to take your time. And it's crazy how the enemy will put people into our life at the wrong time, right? Make crap hit the fan. Life just all of a sudden happens. Someone passes away. You know, you're like me, for example, my dad went in for a heart attack. My grandfather died. Like, life just started spinning out of control. Matt and I were fighting over just random crap, and people were coming over asking me if I wanted to hang out and have a cookout, and all the things were happening. And I had to be so brutally honest in this moment. I had to silence what everybody else was saying to me. And I had to look at myself and say, okay, Chelsea, are any of these people contributing to this bonus? Are any of these people going to buy from me? Are any of these people going to be my biggest cheerleaders and tell me it's such a good idea? Are any of these people going to hand me the money? Are any of these people going to get started on my team? If the answer is no, then I don't belong giving them my time during this season of my life. Right? I had to understand this. I had to wake the F up. I had to start realizing that it was me. I was the only one who could make it happen. I was the only one who could say, no excuses, Chelsea. I was completely 100% in responsibility of myself. I was the only one that could control my actions and who I give my time to. And I had to be brutally honest and finally come to this realization. And when I did, I went diamond 3 months later because I decided that it was enough. Enough was enough. I was no longer going to waste my time on people who were not willing to sit there and clap for me. I was no longer going to waste my time on those people who were not contributing to my success or contributing to feeding my children or paying my bills or helping support me in any way, shape, or form. If they were not making me happy, healthy, or wealthy, I was not interested. And I had to start doing that. I had to push A to the side. I had to push my plan B to the side and stick with my A no matter what. Come hell or high water, I was going to make it happen. There was no other option for me because this was the plan that God laid on my heart. And plan B was just something that was made up by the enemy that was shoving into my head constantly. You are worthy of plan A. You deserve your plan A. You can accomplish your plan A. Your plan A is going to be your reality, but the only way it's going to be a reality is if you make the decision that there is no other option whatsoever. And now you know the why, you know the how, you know how to make that happen. And now it's time for you to get loud. And this is something that I have done in my business for the last 3 years, guys. I have gotten so ridiculously loud about what I'm doing. Anybody ever seen my lives where I talk about my life and where I'm going and where I'm headed? And I get so brutally honest with what's going on in my life and what I need and all the things. Start getting loud about it. This is your accountability. There's nothing that can hold you accountable as much as a random friend on social media, all your followers on social media who are watching you. This is why we say, put it out there. This is where I'm going. This is where I come from. This is where I'm headed. I'm no longer willing to stay here because I'm going there. And I don't care who is watching me. I don't care who is with me. I'm going to make this happen. So if you are with me, then let's go. If you are not with me, move to the side, boo-boo, because I'm going forward. I had to start saying those things. I had to start being real loud on my social media accounts. Like I literally have a live planned for tomorrow morning. If you don't believe me, go watch my Facebook tomorrow morning of me talking about how I failed epically at my $2,500 bonus last month. I'm going to share that news with everybody. And you know what else I'm going to share with everybody? That I'm going for a round 2 this month, that I'm getting up this month, that I'm going for it not only once, but I'm doing twice this month. I'm going to hold myself accountable and tell myself and tell everybody on social media that I'm going to make this happen this month. And if I fail, okay, I'll get up the next month and I'll say it again. And I will say it every single time until I make it right. But that will hold me accountable because I don't want to fail. I don't want 5,000 people watching me on Facebook fail again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I'd rather just show up the first time like I was supposed to in the first place, right? So get super loud. You know what this does for you too? When you get super loud, it not only holds you accountable, but it shows the hustle. So then you attract other people who are hustling and willing to hustle right with you. It shows people that you're confident, and not in a confidence wise that you know that you're going to make it happen, but it's I will not stop until I make it happen. So if I will not stop until I hit my promotion, then obviously when people get on my team, I will not stop until I help them hit their promotion, right? I will not back down until I make it happen. And that is what people want to see from you. They want to know that you are not willing to back down. So they're either going to join you, get started with you, or they're going to move to the side, one way or the other. It's also going to help you grow your confidence. The more that you say it out loud, the more that vision is going to sit there and marinate in your head. And eventually it's going to be this awesome thing that's going to start coming externally because you have said it so many times again and again and again. You're going to attract other people who are willing to hustle. You're going to attract other people who are willing to grow. You're going to attract other people who are willing to fall and get back up. It's going to help you grow. You're going to become her, that person that we were talking about, when you are going to become her when you consistently talk about her every single day and that person that you want to become out loud. So start sharing it on your social media because you can't become her if you're still holding on to who you are right now. You have to let it go. You have to move on because fear is going to creep up on you. It does for all of us. But if you are excited and you are full of vision and you are growing and outgrowing that version of yourself and you're getting loud about it, that excitement alone will bring you to the focus. It will bring you back to focus on why you're here in the first place again and again and again and again. So I want to give you guys 3 call to actions just to close out this Zoom call. I know we're literally right on time. I'm super excited. We've never done this before. Okay. So 3 different call to actions. I want you guys to write this down. Number 1, this is a daily goal for this month. We are not going to back down from this. We're going to do this every single day. We're going to write down our why in detail. Where are you headed every single day? If you have to, do exactly what I told you when you're thinking about all these questions, you can ask yourself, why are you doing this? Who are you? You know, what does your future look like? What do you look like in the future? Who are you with? What's your best day? What are you doing on that day? You know, all the things. So number one, write down your why every single day. Get yourself a little notebook, guys. I bought this literally at the Dollar General. It's got a cute little magnet. My kids try to play with it, and I've got it up on top of the fridge half the time because I don't want them to play with it. It literally has all of my things in here that I don't even tell other people sometimes. But these are all the things that I want to see in myself. This is what I want my future to look like. This is who I want to be in the future. These are the qualities I want to have. These are all the things that I want to say when they think of me. They're all written down in this book. So every single day I'm writing in this book this month to make that happen. So get yourself something that you can write stuff down with. Number two, share your story on Facebook daily. This can be in a live. This can be on a post. This can be on your actual story, like your Instagram and Facebook story. This can be in your reels. But every single day, I want you guys to share where you're going. Where are you headed? People want to follow people who have a vision, right? I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me this past month because they know I'm building an addition on my home, and I keep sharing where I'm headed, and I keep showing what it's going to look like, and I keep telling them what my goals are and what my plans are, right? So every single day you're going to share it. Like don't even skip a day on it. People should know where you're going verbatim. They should know your story verbatim. Where you come from, where you going, where you come from, where you going, every single day. Number three, don't wait. You're going to map out your bonus tonight. Get it in front of you. Some of you have, some of you haven't. Get your bonus out in front of you. Get out exactly where you're going. How many loyal customers do you need? How many distributors do you need? What are you going to do every single day in order to make that happen? What times are you going to show up every single day? Maybe you're like me and your schedule's here, there, and everywhere. You don't even know when you're showing up half the time. I'm a hot mess mom, okay? But I get things done. I make sure that I have a checklist, and that checklist will be done before I go to bed at night. Every single night. So number three, map it out. What are you going for this month? Why are you going for it? And then you're sharing it every single day on your Facebook, okay? So I hope that you guys got something good from this. I love you guys so much. I look forward to hearing it in the chat, and I hope you guys have a great night.